which means that 53 trillion cubic feet of gas sits in international waters and we lose it. Nobody thought about that.
So we have bargaining power.
You don't listen, what rubbish.
Hold on.
We have bargaining power.
Television here tonight.
We have bargaining
I
power.
am bargaining power.
We have bargaining
You
power.
have zero. You
We have bargaining power.
Zero.
He has just
Everything and you
he has just made the point.
Hold on.
Just made the point.
You know,
He has just made the point to show that Tobago is very important and must be treated accordingly.
said it's not important.
Nobody said that Tobago was never important. That's the first thing. And for any political leader to project the thought that Tobago is less important to Trinidad is very myopic. That's the first thing.
Not treated like that, and it's a kind of attitude.
Hold on for me, Shane.
It is a kind of attitude. You see that kind of attitude that we have from Trinidad? That is what we want to fight against. And that is a dangerous, and that is what has had us in the position that we have been subservient all these years, and they just give you a little something. So what he is saying, he has made a brilliant point in letting us know in Tobago that we are important, and that the deal that we have, that the relationship that we have now needs to be looked at, and needs to be looked at urgently. Thank you, Shane.
But in the word independence does not come into play, because if you use the word independence, you are going to lose that power.
I agree with him.
Correct.
Yeah.
Independence.
So, in other words, don't
Let's put it like this. If I give you the 53 trillion cubic feet of gas and you go independent, it is going to go in international waters and you're going to lose it.
That is your point. That is your point of view, not mine.
No, that's international law.
But it's based on
Right.
international law.
Therefore, we have bargaining power.
No, you do not.
We do have it.
Not if you go in.
We do have
You
it.
do not.
Yeah.
You end up in a situation of crave all, lose all.
Right. Well, that is why Trinidad must come to talk to us. That is why Trinidad must come to talk to us. And we must demand our pound of flesh.
Joseph,
And demand the respect that we
arrogant about it. Let me tell you something. When A.N.R. Robinson became Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and when he became President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and when he made sure that the Tobago House of Assembly was created, he was not demanding, he was ensuring that there was equality for Tobago in a very intellectual and a very secure manner.
And where are we now? Where are we now? What are we getting now?
Yeah, but
A.N.R. Robinson.
no, but and listen,
Where are we now?
I could not agree with that approach at all, because
That is you.
it is not, in other words, you're saying basically
it's not in the
destroy the house
of the Tobago,
because
I am saying we must be respected.
I'm getting my share.
We must be respected. We must be respected.
We must,
And we have power.
We must approach this in a mature, rational, logical.
Yeah, but
that we can reason.
That rational thing is working.
Yeah, but
it's working. My producer is yes, that we don't working.
We are creatures of reason.
It's not working.
God gave us.
Because all unreasonable down there in Trinidad.
You know, so
Very unreasonable to us here.
if it is that you don't want to reason, then I can't have much.
So closing comments from you, Shane?
Closing comments is I wish the Tobago Council of the people of the PNM good wishes in.
Thank you very much, Shane.
And Dion, let me tell you something. You have my eyes are on you because you have a very strategic role to play. Maybe also in brokering some level of mediation. I gather that if this thing becomes hostile, and I will also say to you that Trinidad is looking on at what has happened. You have added a new dynamic to Tobago, which is the female leadership that I think, and youth female leadership into the Tobago space. And you have the ability to influence minds, and you have the ability to change the political culture in Tobago via education. And I implore you, because I've been, Dion, you've sat in the Senate. I have followed you as sitting in the Senate. You are one of those young people within the PNM that can really change things and be game changers. And Tracy Celestin has really broken a glass ceiling for Tobago, and going forward, our eyes are going to be on her. I think with regard to the THA, I think the honorable thing would be for Mr. Charles to resign and give way and be able to keep a legacy. Because, you know, nobody has said that Mr. Charles is a bad man. Everywhere you go in Tobago and you speak to people on the ground, you hear that Mr. Charles is a good man. And I said this 2 weeks ago. A good man doesn't mean a good leader. Because a man could be a very good person in terms of his personal traits. But to take those personal traits and then transfer them into leadership skills may not always augur well for everyone. And that's acceptable. But I think with the changing of the guard, I think the time has come for let Tobago, let the THA breed, and let the Tobagonian people holistically, not just PNM, but everybody, feel that sense of connectivity that once existed in the THA. And really and truly, this whole discussion, I will add this piece. I am not supportive of a division between Tobago and Trinidad. And I am very proud to be a citizen of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And I love the fact that that red, white, and black flies. We need to make sure that red, white, and black fly with pride. And this whole discussion about Tobago independence and all of that, we can do this in a way, and we can do it in a progressive way. That's my...
I must cut today. My apologies. We are down to closing comments, the final stages of the discussion. And I wonder to have Mr. Anderson Charles respond to Dan Leonardo, who's saying, what does independence do for Tobago, as you do your closing comments, Mr. Charles?
Well, Tobago has been stymied in terms of its development, the developmental trust. It has been underdeveloped for so long.
Has a real assessment been done to evaluate some of the concerns aired by Shane as it relates to our expected economic gains coming out of the secession that Mr. Duke is speaking?
We didn't talk about secession.
Why it changed?
We said independence.
He spoke of it. He spoke of it.
We said independence.
Okay. My producer says closing comments. I cannot ask any further questions.
Well, I want to say that we are in for some very exciting times. It's a very fluid situation. I hope that the PNM gets its act together and that Mr. Charles, Kelvin Charles, does the honorable thing and step aside and allow the victor, well, his name is Victor too, but allow the victor in the internal election to the freedom.
Quick question. If Mr. Duke loses the Tobago East seat, what do you foresee happening in the PDP?
I can't say.
Good question. And you see, and that's what I keep saying. I keep saying that you must look for life beyond that Tobago East seat, because I'm telling you, that's not the end of it. I've been around long enough to understand there is little or no value or merit to Mr. Duke sitting in the parliament just as the Tobago East representative if he's not able to leverage that seat beyond being the Tobago representative. He has clearly indicated what he wants to do is to use it to catapult himself to become Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And my question is, if that does not work, where does he go then? And that's the question I'm asking tonight, and I would love if we could have gotten an answer either from Mr. Charles as the PDP representative or from maybe someone else. But time will tell as to how that will play out. But the greater thing for Tobago is that we need to use this opportunity to see that, look, we have a chance to choose leaders, choose young persons, choose persons who have passion and fire in whatever political dimension to take Tobago forward, and that's the most important thing.
The issue of autonomy came up, and I just wanted to remind the Tobago populace that that is also one of the major items that will be dealt with in this 100-day plan that Tracy Davison Celestin has itemized, and it will be a question that will be raised with the political leader of the party who happens to be the Prime Minister. What is the issue with autonomy for Tobago, where it's at present? So I just wanted to bring that into the fray, in as much as the autonomy for Tobago came up. But we also have to bear something in mind.
Quick question. If the chairman continues with his posturing what would the executive, what are the options available for the executive?
Well, it depends on what you mean by posturing. What is he going to continue
comments
with?
coming out of the runoff election?
If comments lead into action, then that says something different. But as it stands for now, it's comments. Right, but let me just no, it's comments because comments can lead into action. So let's see what those comments lead into.
Diplomatic.
But ladies and gentlemen of Tobago, we are strategic in our operations. We also have to remember that the PNM way is a way of democracy. We roll out democracy. We give every single member an opportunity to vote with the one-man, one-vote system. It's very unique for Tobago, where we had 17 positions opened up for all the membership to have an opportunity to choose who they wanted. And if that's not democracy, I don't know what else is. So I'm simply trying to remind all Tobago people that we are prepared to treat with the issues that arise as they come up. Yes, we are in a unique situation. We are. But allow what is called the healing process to take place. We are attempting to unify the party. Tracy Davidson Celestine is that individual who can bridge the gap and unify the party. The healing process must take place.
My producer showed them my ears.
All I would suggest, Dion, is just be careful that during the attempt to out the fires, that no one uses gasoline to try to out the fires.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, viewers, thank you so much for viewing High 5 Reloaded. My panel, thank you so much for being a part of the discussion this evening. Shane, thank you so much for coming in on Skype. Viewers, God bless, and we're going to see you.
And Joseph, thank you for doing an excellent job.